Welcome back for the Mobile Gaming Fanatics. I'm MyTyme, this is Top Drives. I've got to start today's episode with a confession, okay? I've got to get off my chest. I failed in the weekly challenge. That's right, I did not have enough mercs, or the right mercs anyway, to complete the challenge, and I didn't want to work on the ones that I had sat in my garage that I never used. So I failed. I didn't even get to the 30,000 cash mark. So congratulations Hutch, you defeated me in the weekly challenge. Everyone out there, feel free to laugh at me. You know, I've accepted it myself now. I feel I can come back onto the game. I've taken time to recover and I'm at peace with myself. So here we are. What have I been doing in the time where I've been recovering? Well, to be honest with you, I haven't been doing too much with the game. My account has basically not progressed at all. So with that, we do have a tri-series qualifier which doesn't have long left to go. Now, part of the reason why I haven't been in and shown you the whole rundown on that is because I haven't really played the event. Now, while it looks like I've played it, I've only used 12. Yep, I've used 12 tickets, okay? Everything else has been done by people playing me. And we're coming towards the end of the event, so we will come to that in a moment. The one thing that I did come on the other day, due to these two events, was to see what packs were in the store. And I did purchase one 2016 carbon fibre and two Swedish carbon fibres. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to segue out very quickly, show you those packs, and then we'll come back and talk about them. So be back in just a moment. There you have it. Unfortunately, nothing particularly great from either of these packs or the ceramic packs. So just fuse, but I need fuse. But anyway, why was I tempted by both of these packs? Well, very quickly, if we click on my cars, we click on all cars, and we go to the filter. If we go for the Swedish filter first of all, for many of you, you've probably already worked it out. There is a particular car or two or 10. If I'm going to talk about all the eggs, that I wouldn't mind adding to my garage, and this is by far the best carbon fibre you will get in order to pull yourself a Hunaudieres. So if we scroll through here, all of these beautiful eggs are up for grabs. The only exception is the Volvo Polestar 1. Now, I'm going to be honest, if you pull one of these packs and you get the Volvo, I imagine you're going to be fairly disappointed. I also think you're going to be extremely frustrated because you've got a great chance of getting a Hunaudieres if you get a legendary. Now, don't get me wrong, some of them aren't as strong and as powerful as the others, but they do have that lovely top speed. They've got decent 0-60, and these ones have the mediocre handling still. They will be very, very useful. Lots of people are going to want these for test bowls, etc. And I just want to get one in the garage. So, excuse me again. Yeah, there is that. So that's the reason. That's what tempted me. Now, the epic side, there aren't a huge number of great cars to be honest with you. The C30's pretty decent. If you've got one of these kind of Volvos, XCs, maybe two, especially if you've got the XC90, you don't really need so many, then I think you're kind of okay. So I would only really literally open this pack to try and get the Hunaudieres. And then with that in mind, also 2016. Now, I didn't open these because they're the requisite for the qualifiers, okay? That wasn't the reason for getting it. I wasn't trying to pull a car or see a car which is going to help me do better in the qualifiers. I don't really think the prizes are worth me investing in, but there are some very nice cars up for grabs. Again, the Hunaudieres here, you've got the Centenario, the Rimac, We come down, I'd like to get the GT3 McLaren, that'd be a great one for the garage. There are a lot of cars. The hybrid, if you are working on French cars especially, very useful car. The problem with this pack though is we keep scrolling down, it is very bloated. By now I mean, if you are lucky enough to get a legendary, there are a lot of legendaries in the pack, and that's going to mean it is going to be difficult for you to get one of the 2 or 3 key cars that you want. And the same thing happens in the Epic. The Crossbow RR, great car, or the Bow R, if you don't get it, either of those should be really good. The Mercedes AMG A45, very useful. Cadillac CT6, great wet condition car. But as we start to scroll down and we come across some of the other cars that could be useful, you know, say the Jaguar, we see it's very bloated again. A lot of Epics, even if you do pull the Epics, you get something like the Abarth or the BMW M2 Delimited. They're not that useful, to be honest with you. Not like you would want them to be. And you come down again and we go, okay, a XT5, but you probably already got 1, 2, 5 of those already. Now we come down again, oh, the Mustang GT Power Pack, well, it's medium ground clearance, so we'll keep that now, but is it great? Excuse me, no. Do you know what I mean? And then we end up in this situation again where it's so hard to get a card that you really want. And I won't go into the ultra rares. Yeah, that's the problem with the pack. So I gave myself 1 spin just to see how lucky I was. But I thought I'm not going to go crazy because it's just too big a pack if you ask me to find what you really want. But the real question here is how well are we going to do in the finals? And if we look at the prizes, many of you will already be aware there is no correlation between any of these cars except for the fact they're all 2006 in terms of the year. So that gives us a very strong indication that 2006 is going to be at least one of the requirements. It could be the only requirement, but it's definitely going to probably be at least one of the requirements for the finals. And of all the cars you're going to get here, the Z4M is definitely worth keeping. However, its relevance, I would say, has diminished quite drastically over recent months, and that with the new patches, especially like American Frontier, because you've got new cars like the Dodge EV, etc., which do the same thing as this, but actually going to do it better. So good car to keep for German events if you don't have one. The AMG S65, if you pick this up, I fused mine away. I've had this before, fused it. Yep, it's got good power. It's probably actually best for drags, to be honest with you. I know it's only got 155 top speed, but drags where you're going to be using Mercedes cars, this car can be pretty useful. It does have medium ground clearance as well, but honestly it's not one that I think I particularly needed in my garage. So price wise, not too should we say ecstatic about, but the actual price car that I would be going for is this car here. Now we look at it, 217 top speed, 3.30 60 19 handling with a 4-wheel drivetrain. Now it looks decent, okay, and it is decent. I mean, it has the great exhibition tag, which I love. It's a Bentley, which I love, but I'll be honest with you, I would still much prefer the GT3 because what it does so well. I know it's one more RQ, but a stock 97 handling, 3 seconds 0 to 60. We're not worried about the top speed. This car is to go around circuits and just fly around twisty circuits. That's what this car does. Put it on the dry and it shines. That's what I would kind of want. A car that maybe there's a bit more use for this Bentley because it will still operate fairly well in the rain and it will give you a good top speed for maybe, we don't know what the MRA is yet, but for drags or stuff like that. But still, it follows so many other cars. I feel this car does what it does better, if that makes sense, than the Bentley Hunaudieres. But okay, nevertheless, can we get that? Can we get that car? Well, now let's check. I mean, let's check. Let's see what cars come up in the 2006 year first of all, and that's going to give me an indication of my garage in comparison to the kind of cars that I'm going to be up against. So if we come to non-price cars first of all, we can see here there are currently 6 legendaries and I have none of them. Now I do have a Gunpowder Apollo and I have the slightly better one than this, so I can't be upset that I don't have that Apollo, but realistically, if I pulled any of these legendaries, apart from the Koenigsegg, the only legendary if I pulled it I would work on it, I wouldn't be working on any of them at this moment in time. So from that perspective, yeah, it's not looking great for me, is it? It's not looking great. And then when we scroll down to the epics, unfortunately, there's a lot of old cars in here. Now, people with American Frontier cars, be prepared, okay? You're not really going to be using them in this event. There's literally none. I mean, you've got the Dodge Viper SRT10, but there's so few. It's going back to your old school garages. Cars here like the Chevrolets, the Corvettes, there's Z06 Lincolnfelter, and just the Z06. These cars have been out for a long time, okay? Lots of people have used these in many American events in the past, and a lot of people are going to have these cars already maxed out. I don't. Same with the Porsche GT3 RS here. We scroll down to, you've got some of the Swedish cars in here as well, but more Porsches, Roos, etc. Come down. I have these cars, but I have none of them maxed out. Once we then hit ultra rare, I mean, it's only in ultra rare where we actually start seeing some all surface cars, okay? And the off-road, there's one here, the Spiker D12 peaking to Paris, okay? It's the only other all surface car outside of ultra rare. So I honestly do not think that they will be placing much emphasis in the finals on basically terrain which isn't asphalt. I honestly do not think you're going to get many mixed or dirt surfaces. They may throw in one mixed track just to kind of, I don't know, kind of spice it up a bit, but I'd say that would be about it. I think you're going to literally be looking to use all your fast, powerful, kind of twisty cars. And unfortunately for me, can I justify investing 60 ultra rares into these 4 cars? I don't think I can. Even if I max one of them out, it's still going to be nowhere near enough to get me in the top 10. It's probably not going to get me top 40. Having these 3 maxed out on one of these ultra rares, okay, maybe then I'd be top 40. I would get top 80, I'd suggest. Maybe top 40. Is it worth doing that for one carbon fiber? Well, to be honest with you, no, I'm not going to spend 60 ultra rares and end up with a carbon fiber in return. So, okay, I might get a guaranteed ultra rare or maybe epic, depending, but I guess rank 41 to 80 is pretty much going to be ultra rare. Unless I get in top 40, yeah, okay, maybe I'll get an ultra rare, an epic to come back with it. I'd have to do so much work to do that. For me, it's just not viable. So sorry people, you can hear from me now. I will not be doing very well in the final, so I cannot show you that prize car. It will not be making its way to my garage. I do apologise, but what I can show you is I can show you the team that I'm using at the moment. We'll just come in here. I believe this is the team. Yep. Okay, this team was using is some rain, hence why I bought in the CT6. Great car for this event. Crossbow is an amazing car for this event as well. I got some RQ saver with the concept. The real kind of sticky point here is the McGann. I mean, it's good on a couple of tracks. Excuse me, it helps me out on some of the twisty circuits and that, but on the drag where I have to put it in, it kind of leaves me very exposed. And I'll just show you here very quickly. So for fast circuit, oh, we're going to be in a bit of trouble now, aren't we? Okay, we take carding circuit. We throw in. This is best in karting circuit environments. But we want to try and win. So if we do this here, we do this here, we do this here, and we do this here, we may just squeeze a victory here. In fact, I think we should, because this should only be about 70 points. Oh, not even that. Great. Yeah, not a huge loss. So here we go. We can squeeze out a victory. Lovely. Now that's for people around the 100 kind of mark. If I try and push myself up and look at people in 70s or so, you'll soon see how exposed my deck actually is. Okay. Circle of Death. Well, perfect. Well, anyway, on that note, I feel we will just leave this video. Okay, we'll just leave the video. Please let me know if you're doing well in these qualifiers. Let me know if you think you're going to actually be able to get the Bentley in the finals. For me, I know it's pretty much a bust, so what can I say? I'm just going to have to accept that, and I need to just knuckle down in the game, I think, and work on my garage. But anyway, I appreciate you all for watching. As ever, if you enjoyed the video, please let me know in the comment section below. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you all soon.